Yo, 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 what is going on, y'all? This your boy James, and you watching my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Nope, it ain't gonna happen. It's okay, y'all. We'll live to find another day. Joining us is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, like the video, subscribe to James's channel.
Yes, I have a few new subscribers. Welcome to the Watch Your Mouth
Yay.
Reviews channel. We appreciate you. Y'all were coming the way of my Melody Rogers video. I appreciate the comments and everything. If I have not responded to you, I will soon, but thank you for joining us. So, if you guys read the caption, this is Real Housewives of Dubai, Season 2, Episode 4. Y'all, this episode actually stressed me out. It stressed me out because I was side eyeing, mouth dropping, and I'm just like, wait, how we get here? Questioning everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and dig into the episode. So make sure you guys like the video because that gets me seen across the YouTube universe. So y'all make sure y'all like. You can share it to your friends, everything like that. Tell them to come on up because we get it cracking on here, especially if y'all live in the chat. So the episode opens up with Talene. She's leading us in a fitness quadrant that she has actually opened up here in Dubai because, from what she has explained, fitness to women in Dubai is not as popular as it would be here in the States. So she started out a trend where she's gotten the ladies of the Emirati country, Muslim country, to come out there and, strut their stuff and work out. And she even cracked me up. She said when she first started doing this, hi, Zeta. Thank you for joining us. She said when she first started doing this, she said that the security guard that would watch them says, why are women picking up tires and toss them? Do they need help? Do I need to get them somebody? Because they didn't understand the cultural avenue of flipping the tire and how much exercise that was. So she did a really good job from what I saw. She had a lot of interesting exercises, but I was really, I was enjoyed by this scene. She wants to turn this into a business venture and everything, but all her husband is talking about, is having that baby. So, we'll see how that goes with that future plan. Mrs. Best, how did you enjoy Talene's opening scene?
I actually like Talene and feel like she is a better fit for Housewives of Dubai. I love the representation of African American people on this franchise, but it's Dubai, so I do want to see more people who align with that culture, if that makes sense, outside of just the rich glitz stuff. So I like Talene. I do appreciate her shedding light on some of what she talked about with Islam, but I was actually raised Muslim. So some of what she said, and not that Nation of Islam stuff, like actually Muslim, I had to wear hijab
Yes.
stuff. And so, yes, they covered their women because it's meant to be for the eyes of your husband only, but women still work out. They just in the gym, not in 100-degree desert heat. So I just wanted
Well,
to say that. But other than that, I didn't mind it at all. I'd rather see her sing than exercise, but
yeah, Talene, when are you going to bless us with your voice? Because I actually looked at some of your stuff up on YouTube. She has
she
a
could
couple
sing,
of,
sing.
she can sing. She actually can. So when
Yeah.
are you going to put us on some music, Talene? I don't want you to give that up now. Don't give this up for this lifestyle. So it was a cute little scene, for that. The next scene is not so cute. So once again, we got to have Caroline Stansberry, Sergio up in Michael's house, tearing it up and making even more of a mess than when they started. And Michael is better than I ever could be because first of all, y'all ain't finna tear up my house like this. She still has shoes everywhere, purses everywhere, and it's like, Michael, you need to open up your mouth and be like, if y'all don't clean this shit up and stop playing with my house like this. So Caroline is trying to pay the water bill, the electric bill, the heat bill, the gas bill, the mortgage, all in these text messages. And Sergio is annoying her. Get a line. What do you want to do with the purses? Get a line. Shoes on the floor. Get a line. Are you not hearing me? Get a line. What's going on? Get a line. I'm trying to put the purses in the boxes. Do they go this way? Do they go that way? And Caroline's like, Sergio, I'm trying to pay the bills right now. You're annoying me, Sergio. Please leave me alone. No, get a line. You need to listen to your husband. You need to listen to your husband. Sergio, if we don't have electricity, the water, and the cable, and everything, I cannot get the keys to the home. Caroline, you're not listening to me. I'm your husband. You're supposed to listen to me. And I'm looking at him like, See, Bravo in this call center, y'all not gonna worry me with this damn. Now, this is the third episode or fourth episode. We are seeing these two go back and forth over in this house situation. I don't want to see this no more. Sergio, listen, this ain't no 19-year-old spring chicken that you could just bounce around and talk to in your kind of way and thinking that she's going to jump up and scream. This lady is your mama age. So what I'm gonna need you to do is sit it on down and shut the hell up. Because she is paying the bills, getting the mortgage. If it had not been for her, you couldn't even get this house. Figure the shit out. Put it in the box, put some paper in the box, wrap them purses up, put them shoes in there, and just come on and get it over with. I don't understand how is that so hard. This scene, y'all, irritated me so much because I understood where she was coming from. It's like, damn, he's like a kid. I got to, but Caroline, that's what your old ass get for marrying this little boy. This is what you get because he is clingy, he is needy, and I was just over this scene. Mrs. Best, it's your turn. What does you have to say about this?
I felt her entirely. Number one, I think we should acknowledge the friend that she's living with. He, like at the party, a lot of people were like, oh, jokingly, we hope to be that level of petty. Some people felt like he wasn't the best friend. Seeing that scene, it did make sense. I would be throwing a damn party myself. Okay. Listen, I'm going to just say this also. I'm a firm believer that once you're over the age of 30, there's no reason your friends should be moving in with you. Not for a short span. There's extended stay, Best Western Plus, Motel 6. Okay. If you're bougie, the Marriott, the W, the Ritz. But I'm a person where I'll have a friend, like if a friend comes in town to visit or something, whatever, that's fine. You can stay at my house. I don't care. But if a friend comes to me and they're like, I just don't know where I'm going to go, I lost my place, then it's like, okay, well, then you need to figure it out because that's love. That's tough love in my opinion. But I feel for him. Sergio was stomping through that house like me when my mama said I couldn't go on dates with boys until I got good grades. Like he was really, really stomping around the house like a child. And the thing also that you said that made a lot of sense is how ungrateful are you? I think at the very least, when it comes to relationships of any sort, you should appreciate the things that your partner does for you, whether it's something that is physically expensive, whether it's money or whether it's just offering you like emotional and mental support, validating who you are as a person. You should have appreciation for the things that your partners do for you. Why are you acting a fool when her friends letting y'all stay with him, likely rent free? And then separate from that, what kind of man? I don't know, single man, gay or straight, that don't know how to pack and move. Listen, if you don't do like most men and throw that shit in the box, sir, just get it done, as she said. Just get it done. I don't know. I feel like Caroline married him for the show. I genuinely do. Because it
You
was
think
very
she did?
convenient. It was very
Yeah, I said she married him because I feel like her ex husband married somebody younger as well. So I feel like she didn't want to one up him. She wanted to one up him, so that's what she did, not knowing that that shit can get very annoying very quickly. Even I could just even in this scene when Michael walked in, he said, "Caroline, how can I help you? Because I want to make sure this gets done. Because I understand you got to pay this, you got to pay that, even to get your
yeah.
keys. So how can I help?" He's still coming around, Caroline. I am your husband. You prioritize me. You don't just tell our business. And I said, "Oh my
If
god."
you was a husband and you supposed to be the leader, then why in the fuck are you living with somebody else? Provide, husband.
Right. We
I,
know it's Caroline's income that's getting all of this. What does he do for a living again? Does anybody know? Because all I heard was the scene where the part where she said she was the driver, which makes complete sense.
uh-huh.
I said, man, if you don't sit there and shut the hell up and let her do what she got to do to get y'all in y'all house.
They're not gonna last because I don't know a single man, even if he done been dead wrong, is old, young. I don't know a man that'll have their spouse speaking of him the way that Caroline speaks of him, and who gonna be okay with that. Like she called him the driver. She gets annoyed. She allows the daughters to be disrespectful, which we had talked about before. I'm not referencing what happened, later in the episode, but
I'm gonna get
if
to it.
you could
Yeah.
tell Caroline don't respect this man, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything. I don't agree with people dating and marrying with this big of an age gap, but I don't judge it. Love is love. I feel like when you fall for somebody, you fall for somebody, and as long as they ain't a child, I'm fine. But I also am looking at this like you cannot respect him as a person individually, and you definitely don't respect him as a partner. Because I get that he is a child, but you chose that child. And like James said, you probably chose him because your ex probably got a little young tenderoni running around somewhere. And that intimidates you. But he is just immature because there are some 24-year-olds that
Oh yeah.
are not as immature as Sergio. Like James at 24, he won't agree with me, but he was much more mature than this. You may not have made the best choices. I'm not going to bullshit you, but you were not like this just emotionally dense.
No, I was no, I was not like this at all. I was very
You had
mature. I
sense.
could have been with a woman twice my age if I wanted to. Like I really
Mhm.
could have, and it probably would have still lasted up
Yep.
until I am right now because one at that time I had a human level of understanding. Like,
Mm.
okay, we're gonna get on each other's nerves, but there's no way like that house would have been packed up before she paid that last bill if I was in Sergio's
Let me
shoes.
explain to anybody too, whether you're a man or a woman. If you are the spouse that's not making the money, shut the fuck up and just pack. Be
When
on
I
your
tell
best behavior.
right. When I tell you that whole room would have been empty by the time she finished that first
Right.
text message, she'd
Dusted
have
and
walked into the kitchen,
disinfected.
she'd have had some lamb chops and some rice on already ready. I
Right.
just had to make the vegetables. Caroline would have she wouldn't have to worry about that. But see, that's not
Right.
what you got, Caroline. You got this little boy who was throwing tantrums. And this is once again, I need to see that mother dynamic again. I might have to
Mhm.
go back and watch the first season. I need to see that mama dynamic because something's missing here. Something is definitely missing, and I feel like I
I
might
think
get
she
my
married
answer.
him for the show because she was on Ladies of London, so they probably was coming back to her anyway, knowing where she was. But having a young dude and being older, that is television worthy. I don't care how anybody feels, that is television worthy. And I think that she was dating or sleeping with Sergio and all of that. But I think when she got into talks with Bravo, I think that's when she made him believe it was potentially something more serious. Also, yes, the kids are disrespectful and things like that, but they also seem like okay about it, which is strange. I just feel, Caroline, Miss Stansberry, conveniently got married in season one, and now this is happening. Then to say that you don't expect to last with your partner and all this crazy stuff, I don't believe any of it.
Me either. It's like yeah, it's starting to get to the point where I know you're not dealing with this on no daily basis. Like I just know. Come on now. No,
I do think they're running out of money though, before you move on. That's all.
damn. Okay, y'all. So moving on to the next part, we then meet up with Lisa Milan and Chanel Ayan. They go to this forensic dentist, which I'm gonna tell you guys now. That trade line of field in forensic dentistry makes a lot of money, especially if you partake into CSI. You can make a depending on what city you live in, you can make almost $250,000 first year. So I don't want people to rule that out as like an impossible field. It is not. I actually aspired to do this. I just couldn't hang in with dentist school. I just couldn't do it. So, but they go to see the forensic dentist, and Stansberry shows up, and she's very excited because she wants to know if Chanel Ayan is older than her, which we all know that lady is not older than Stansberry. But for shits and giggles, we're going to be here in a minute. So as they're doing Chanel Ayan's X-rays and getting her whatever they need directly, Stansberry and Lisa have a conversation. She asked how it went with Brooks, and she goes, with Brooks and everything that happened, we just kind of left it as we're okay. And she goes, okay, that's good. She goes, and Caroline Brooks like, yeah, we can just coexist. And she goes, well, at least one like, yeah, you're good at coexisting with people. And they start laughing, and they were building a rapport. So I'm curious now to see what went left. I'm curious to see how this goes left because they really were building a rapport, and I was proud of them. So then they go into the room and they look at Chanel Yan's mouth, and they're like, wait, why you got a hole right there? What's going on? And the forensic science says she's missing two teeth. And she said, yeah, my mama, they were rotten, so my mama just yanked them out. And I said, damn, she like went into your mouth and yanked her. Y'all, do y'all know how hard y'all have to pull to yank a tooth out like that? Wow. I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh my goodness. So Caroline Stansbury makes a joke and she goes, she's missing half a bloody mouth. Like she goes, that's why she's so thin. The food just escapes out of her mouth when she eats it. And I said, damn. Like I laughed at that, but that
I
was supposed to be
love
funny.
British humor.
I
If
do
you get it,
too.
you get it. If you don't, you don't.
Right? And but I tell you, they were like, "Well, can you tell me how old she is or an estimate?" And he goes, "No, I need to do my research." So they couldn't even get the answer right then and there. But the scene was funny as hell. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the scene? Like, how do you feel about the dynamic of those three?
I love it, and I hope they get their shit together. Ayan Milan and Stansberry can really lead the show. I'm okay with Talene. She'll be like a middle person. Brooks has got to go. She does.
She said, "Brooks has got to go."
And if
Well,
you ever in California, I do lead AA meetings at my job in the Bay Area. It's local.
damn, y'all. So speaking of Brooks, we go over to Brooks's house. It's our son's birthday is coming up, so she's talking to the little sister. Meanwhile, her son is being intrusive, abrasive, and very obnoxious in this little scene here. She can't even control him. He's telling the assistant, "You didn't send my mom the list I gave you," and she had to tell her son, "Wait a minute, hold up. She is an adult, and she does not work for you. She works for me. You don't talk to her like that." And yeah, she being serious, Zeta. She being serious.
I do. I do. My residents love it. I don't judge shit. Everybody need a little help sometimes.
But yeah, so Brooks tells us, and I'm gonna try to say it with a straight face. She said that when her and her ex-husband divorced, the part of contingent for her to get full custody is that he couldn't give her anything. So as a result of that, she works very, very hard to make sure that he gets everything that he wants and that they're able to live the life that they live. And they asked her, "Do you experience mom guilt?" And she says, "Yes, I all the time." And her mom calls and tells her that she's having such a hard time. How did you do it? And he goes, "He's just a teenager." And I'm looking at that mom in her wig, and I'm looking at Caroline Brooks, and I'm like, that little boy is 10. If you don't go get you a switch and whoop that little boy ass,
Everybody find Joe Jackson.
I mean, I don't understand what the problem here is. First of all, I'm side eyeing her for a couple different reasons. Now, she may be telling the truth, y'all. I don't know. I'm gonna say allegedly to protect my channel, but I don't believe this. That her husband did not give her anything when they divorced. Okay, Brooks. Okay. Okay. Sure. I believe you. Mm. I don't bit more believe that than the sky is blue right now. You can't tell me that all that money that man got, you didn't get nothing under the table because y'all understand. Brooks is a sister. This ain't no regular like she didn't uphold her life to this lifestyle. Brooks is a sister, Phaedra sister. Think of Phaedra. Y'all really think Brooks didn't get nothing from this divorce? Come on. Brooks, stop playing with people. I'm gonna say allegedly once
I
again.
believe her. And the
Do
reason
you?
why I believe her, when men have a certain level of money, it comes with a certain level of power, and that does penetrate the legal system everywhere, all around the world. So I think that's part of it. The second part of it is culture. The culture of Dubai is much different than it is in America. So if she was legally married in a more liberal country like America, then I would not believe that she got nothing. But if she was married in the UAE, I do believe she probably left with nothing. But that man gonna take care of his kid, if y'all get what I'm saying. So I feel like she may not have gotten anything like alimony or nothing, but I do think he takes care of his child, if that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. She didn't just get nothing. I am sure, and like Zeta said here, that's how I feel like she's getting restitution. And I agree with you to some extent, Mrs. Best. However, if Janet Jackson didn't come out when she got divorced from her husband, getting $500 million after 5 years and 2 months, then I can believe that Caroline Stansberry got at least a quarter of that, if not more. I'm just saying, I don't believe her.
That's a
I just
fair
don't.
comparison. That's very fair.
Yeah,
But
I'm just saying.
Janet
And
Jackson was probably a lot more easy to tolerate than Brooks.
that's true as well. But I'm just saying, and I know another lady who was married to another wealthy man in Dubai, and she got a good settlement out of that as well. I just think that for me, I don't believe that she got nothing. I think she got something. I'm not saying she get monthly spousal support or monthly child support. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I know she got some stardom. Like there's no way she was married to that man and didn't get not nothing. She got some stardom some kind of way, whether if he did what Zeta just said, whether if it was helping or investing in the business, because we did see him trying to fix the toilets and stuff. So I'm not
Stop
buying it.
saying fix the toilets. You so
That's what he
petty.
was see, that's what he was doing. They was in the bathroom yelling at each other. That's what he was doing. They was on TV. So yes, that's what he was doing. So I do believe, like Zeta said, I think it was an investment thing. You invest, give me the money to start up this business, and then because I'm this ain't her only business, y'all. This is the one that she's doing as of right now. She's had other businesses prior to this, so that's why I'm saying there had to have been some other investments. I don't believe just knowing her type. I don't believe she would get into a marriage for no reason other than stature. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Especially the way she described herself when explaining how she met, what is his name, Zoran or something?
Mhm.
But how she met him. It wasn't like Lisa Milan who had, an education and, just happened to run into somebody. Like this was,
Yeah.
you was looking for whoever had it.
Mhm.
And the
Because
come
Lisa
up was
Milan,
real.
despite her marrying into her wealth, she still was known. Like we still could put her somewhere. We still knew she had some sort of famous status. You, on the other hand, we did not know you until this show. And then the thing about it is, your description of your lifestyle makes it seem like yes, you had some stardom. I don't know what it was, and I really don't care because I say it's alleged. But I don't 100% believe her. I just don't.
What I will say though, separate from all of that, I don't really believe in corporal punishment with kids. I'm not going to lie, but she needed to check that little boy. That was the perfect moment to put the black mama voice on. All my mama had to do was look,
And
and
you
I
could
knew.
tell, and this is another thing about her, because I believe she does work hard. I do believe that, and I believe she is gone all the time. I could believe that too. But what I am saying is that you could tell that little boy has gotten used to running the help, the assistant, the maid slash
I
housekeeper.
mean, the
You could
nanny,
tell.
when the nanny took him away, he cuddled her.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I just feel like I didn't respect that. That's the final thing I'll say about her. This whole Brooke scene, it made me respect her less and less and less because I understand that mom guilt is a thing. Mothers have to work. It's important. You got to make a living for yourself and for your child, but you're not in a position like other moms who's forced to just be at work and be away from the kids and hope for childcare and only really see them, on their days off if they can. Like you're a mom that's blessed to have privilege and the ability to find ways to delegate what you're doing so that you can be with your child. Or a lot of rich parents that have homeschooled or tutors people to come with them when they're traveling a lot during those times, independent study with school. So I don't know. I just respected her less and less and less and less after watching the episode. But then at the same time, I was like, well, of course, your child on television acting bad as hell. Look how you acting.
For real. That's what they got it honest. So yes. Moving on from this scene, we then have a scene with Sarah and Saba. If y'all watched my last recap, y'all know I don't see it for Saba. So I'm just going to take her with a grain of salt until we don't see her no more. So they go to this hold on. Literally last season, Sarah was telling her to be closer with her child. I think this is all show. That child isn't used to her being affectionate.
That's
You
right.
bring up a good point, Zeta. You bring up a great point because she's not the most warmed. And I think she's going through something that she doesn't want people to see, but it's exposing itself. There's something going on here with Brooks, and I don't like Brooks. So I don't really care to really invest. But moving on, y'all. Speaking of somebody I don't like, so Saba and Sarah go out and they're having, this tea and crumpet situation. And Sarah begins to FaceTime her new beau, which is why that bald headed dude didn't work last episode because Sarah was already talking to somebody's name is Akeem and he is handsome, very good pick, Sarah. I see you. Not my type, but I definitely see you, Sarah. Definitely. So she starts talking about him, how she met him at a business meeting with her investors. And when she saw him, she forgot about the meeting and couldn't take her eyes off of him. And they formed some kind of friendship. So when she went out on that date with Talina, her husband, with the guy, she goes, that just pushed her further into his arms. And Saba, was talking with him and she was like, well, fill him out, see what it's like and everything. And she goes, I think he'll be good. And, I'm just looking at Sarah like, there that face value is again, y'all. When I tell you, I don't like Sarah, but I have that same thing where I don't dig deep enough when it comes to me meeting people. I don't dig deep enough and I don't understand what that is. But because I'm aware of it now that I've, had my last relationship, I'm actually going to therapy to look into it a little bit more because I need to figure out why I do that. Because it is very, and it could just because men are new to me. That's probably why I do it. But at the end of the day, it is something I need to be aware of. And I feel like Sarah, but we all see how Sarah does therapy. So I don't know if she really understands this shit or is self aware to recognize she only looks at face value. And I think that's also culture because when they meet people, they're automatically talking about marriage and kids and stuff like that because it's a fast pace. Like if you're marrying them, you're marrying them, or if you're dating them, you're dating them with the intention to get married. So if you're only seeing them at face value, that's where you're ignoring all the traits that could be negative. So, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about this whole Sarah Saba meetup? Because I don't want to spend too much time on it.
I still don't like Saba. Happy Sarah found love. Um, yeah. I didn't. I'm
Yeah,
no shade, but like, I don't know. I know she's just on this show. I think because she's Emirati. Because I get bored by Sarah often, but she's beautiful, great to look at.
she really is. And
Yeah.
I love her house. I love her car. Y'all know I was talking about her car on my last recap. Her house
Mhm.
is beautiful. So I just feel like I want to like this lady. It's just some about her just seems disingenuous. And by the company she keep, which is Saba, that even makes it even more of a dagger because the way Saba was looking at that waitress, I was like, okay, see, there's more undertone here when it
Oh,
comes to the.
Dubai has a history. There's a lot of African immigrants, Hispanic immigrants, Chinese immigrants, and North Korean escapees
Mhm.
that are there. I'm a nerd. I had was watching something on it, and it was a documentary I was watching about how they're so mistreated by not the visitors of Dubai from other countries, people on vacation, but the people who live there or move there. And then they were saying it's especially harsh with like Emiratis. It's on YouTube. I'm gonna find it and comment the link.
Oh
She
no,
is.
Zeta, that's what
Yes.
we're talking about. No, you're no, you we caught it. It was
We
the way
caught
she.
that when she got it Ayan.
Yeah, we caught that. Absolutely, it was something about her. It's an undertone, and no one's really bringing this up on social media, which I don't mind because I don't want them to drag this lady because we could be reading her wrong. But I'm just noticing certain gestures and certain looks, certain posturing when it came to, especially with her with this waitress. The waitress was a African lady. She had braids in her hair, and it was just the undertone of how she treated her. It was like, I'm not gonna like Saba, y'all, like, cause I see like that gives a racial undertone. It does, like where you are giving off racist vibes, and I don't want her to, and I want to like her, but at the same time, I can't help but notice it because it was very evident in this scene and also last week's episode with Chanel Ayan.
And the thing is too, like I am not trying to get it to people. Y'all can try to cancel me, but like I always say, I ain't got shit. No way. Dubai is known for being a little bit racist,
Oh
for
yeah,
one, as well as sexist, homophobic. We've talked about that on this channel before. I'm not, I wouldn't be surprised to
hi
get that from
Naya.
Saba. Hi, cousin.
But yes, no, they are, and that's a very true statement. We said this like I want to go to Dubai. I do. I am scared, but I have had friends in the community who have went and told me I have nothing to be afraid of. One was black and the other two were white. But they told me they did not experience anything. They were like the two white ones, the couple, they held hands. They weren't affectionate, they weren't kissing, they just held hands and nobody really gave them the time of day. Because they understand, like initially money makes a city go around. So they can stomach a handhold situation. And then the other one, he was with a whole bunch of his friends. So he was able to kind of blend in and then not notice it. So that's where I kind of felt like, yeah, it was, it'll probably be okay for me. And it's also apparent in the comments about Sarah's new book talking about how she wants to vet him, which is normal, but I don't know. It's the aura she gives off.
I agree.
Yeah, it is. It is. But see, but this is what I'm gonna say about Sarah. That gives me that vibe about Sarah. Sarah does it out of a way of a nanny boo boo situation, kind of like Neri Noriega's wife on Love and Hip Hop Miami. It was that nanny boo boo thing. I got a black man, he gonna treat me better than he treats you kind of situation. The Sin Santanas and all those like who do that to black women. Yeah, it gives that. It does. So that's what I think about Sarah. Tapa just is like I think culturally she's not exposed to black and African Americans and Africans and immigrants and things so I think that her undertone is I'm better than you. I already know due to my status in this country. So I'm going to look at you and I'm going to assort my gestures at you and I'm going to say I don't like her kind, even though I'm talking about the fashion, but that's a part of her personality. She's extra. So I think for me, you're kind of putting the stigma that all black people are extra when you say they're kind. So that's what we're looking at. So for people who don't understand what we're saying, that's what we're saying. Is an undertone to it. She could just be extra, but she said you're kind, which is kind of the connotation of extraness being appointed to black people. That's how I'm taking it. And until she says she can come on watch your mouth review, Saba. Come on, watch your mouth reviews. I will definitely interview you and I'll hear your point of view. I want to know, is there an undertone? Y'all send her this clip and tell her to come on because I will gladly interview her because I would like to know. So, just saying. Um, but moving on, y'all, we have a couple little nothing scenes. We had Stanberry moving into her house. We saw the kids, all the boys. She had her boys on the show. They moving into their house. She ain't got no bed because she said, I just wanted to be in my own home. The bathtub wasn't set up. She was worried about this painting. And I'm just like, okay.
Running out of money.
Not running out of money. But no, I'm just saying it was a little nothing scene. Another little nothing scene was Celine and her husband with their kids. She was trying to bake some cookies. She said she's not used to being in the kitchen because in Dubai, it's normal for them to have chefs, to have chauffeurs.
Not an excuse. I am sorry to interrupt. Who watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians, that Armenian family? One thing about these heifers, they may be famous for nothing, but they all cook.
They all cook, yes.
I have a lot of Armenian friends, my younger sister's best friends she's basically first generation American. They're Armenian. That cooking is such a big thing in their culture. Ooh, the food is good too, y'all. So yes. I'm looking at Celine like, what you mean you don't know how to cook? And why are you struggling when you got instructions from Betty?
And I'm telling y'all, Betty Crocker, that box that she has makes more than 6 cookies. So she definitely messed something up in there, and I'm scared for them kids to eat them cookies. But her husband comes in to say that they had guys night. It was him, Rich, Sergio, and Chris, which is Ayan's husband. And they were just hearing Sergio out. He says that he's stressing because he feels bullied by her kids, and he feels like because there's such an age difference that she really doesn't show him to be an equal to her. And it was like, Sergio, you're not an equal to this woman. You're not. One, that lady is 20 years older than you, and she makes more money than you do. You're not an equal. And you need to be okay with that in order to stay married to her. You need to understand, yes, we're not equals. She makes more money, but you know what? Give it 5 years. I bet you I'll uphold her with whatever career I go and see. He doesn't have the confidence to be with her either. When you marry somebody of that old and that stature, you have to have the kind of confidence where nothing they can say or do to you can touch you. That's just what I'm like, because to me, them kids bullying Kim, they do it because she's allowing it. When I tell you them kids will fall in line with me, when I tell you one will be washing the dishes, one will be cooking dinner, the other one will be taking out the garbage and mopping the floors. Oh, y'all want to treat me like this? Okay, I'm going to be the evil stepdad. Clean that shit up. I don't want to hear not a damn word. Girl, you better stir them greens up and quit playing with me. I
I
bet
think
to see
that
my
he's
face.
like misunderstanding the term that respect is something that is earned, not given. Like he's thinking, or that you got to give respect to get respect. That's a part of it, yes, but you got to prove yourself to
Right.
these kids. They're still watching their mom operate basically like she's a single mom. What is
Because
your
she has to
purpose?
take care of him. Yeah, exactly. And it's either Caroline enforces them to respect him, or she's telling the truth. Look, he only here for some maintenance. That's it. But that doesn't mean you disrespect him. At the end of the day, he's still an adult and he's still your elder. You need to respect him. If he's not disrespected you, you don't disrespect him. It's up to her to really put her foot down. But at the end of the day, I when I tell you, y'all would have thought my name was Admiral as much as I would be on them kids. Y'all ain't gonna come in this house. I'm the man of this house. This is my house at the end of the day. And they have to tell, well, it's my mama's money. Yeah, but your mama getting this. At the end of the day, it costs. If you didn't want to know that, then you shouldn't open up your mouth. That's how I, and that might be ignorant, y'all. I know that might be ignorant just a little bit. But at the end of the day, I'm just not that kind of person. Like, I'm not going to be ran over by a whole bunch of kids. We're going to have an understanding before I get married to you that I'm coming into this as an additional parent, which I'm going to love, I'm going to help provide, and I'm going to help raise. But what I'm not going to do is have you disrespect, dishonor, and be disingenuous to me because you don't like the situation here. That's not how this works. And see, if I do marry, that's why I say I always fear me marrying into someone with kids. I need to make sure me, the mother, and that fool understand that this ain't gonna be none of this. I'm not gonna be disrespected. Now I'm going to talk. I'm going to be another ear, and I don't mind picking kids up from school. I don't mind taking them to ballet. I don't mind taking them to soccer. I don't mind taking a basketball practice. But understand that that comes with respect with me as well. I'm someone you chose to bring into this family. I need respect as well. But see, but that's not. But Sergio, I think the cultural thing, I think that plays a big part of it, and the fact that he feels like he needs to be a man, but he doesn't know how to do it. I think that plays another part into it.
No, them kids. Her youngest is 12. The thing of it is, these kids are older kids. They're big kids. They are established to some extent. They're used to their parents. They already navigating the fact that their parents are separated, and now seeing other people and all this crazy stuff. So these kids, he he's so childish. He can't see that when you have kids this big versus marrying someone with small kids where they can truly get to know you as like a second dad or a second mom. Like, these kids already know who their dad and their mom is, but they don't really know you. All they know is you're close to their age, and it's probably weird for them. But he's so childish that he doesn't even seem to have empathy. He's just feeling sorry for himself and his situation. But he lacks empathy because not once has he spoken on how the whole relationship could impact the kids or how it could look to the kids. You're less than 10 years apart in age from her daughter. That's mad uncomfortable for her. So Sergio lacks empathy on top of being immature. And that's why I just don't think, especially with the comments Caroline made and how irritated she got with him throughout the episode, I just don't see it for them in the long
Mm,
haul.
I agree with that. I definitely agree. So yeah, moving it along, it's Chanel Ayan's Queen Appreciation Dinner. That's what I'm gonna call it because I forgot what she said. And she shows up first, and she gets there pretty early because the ladies are late. And which once everyone arrives, everyone's looking around because Sarah was and Saba were the only two that did not wear crowns. Apparently, they missed the memo, or she didn't tell them to wear a crown. But everyone else, with the exception of also Lisa Milan and I think Talene, didn't have a crown on either. Everyone else had a crown on, which was Brooks, Shanayan, and Stansberry. So they start to play a game where they like, well, let's uplift everyone and tell each person what you appreciate it. So Lisa Milan goes first and she picks Sarah, and they pretty much said the go getter thing. They kind of both give each other the same compliment. Brooks goes to pick Chanel Ayan. She goes, I appreciate you and, always being a girl's girl and everything. And then Chanel Ayan responds to that as well, even though she said, you get on my nerves, but, I do appreciate you. You're a go getter. They pretty much said the same thing. It comes to Talene's turn, and Talene picks Stansberry. And Brooks looked and gritted her teeth and was like, and I was like, see, Brooks, this is why we can't fool with you. This is why we can't fool with you because this is what we talking about here. There was nothing wrong with Talene picking Stansberry. And she goes, I appreciate I forgot what she said. Shit, it just left my head that quick. But it was pretty much the same thing
She
they all been saying.
she called her a good mom, pretty much. That's
Yeah,
it.
it was, but there was something else she said too, but I forgot what it was. But and Lisa's confession, she was just laughing the entire time, and I was like, did I miss something? Why is everyone giving this lady a hard time with her being nice to Stansberry? So she then pulls Stansberry to the side and they have a little conversation. And she just basically tells her, I just want to check in with you. Our husbands had dinner and Sergio said some things that were concerning. He goes, he feels very disrespected by your children. And Caroline Stansberry was taken aback. She was like, oh, no, no, he is not. And it was like, Stansberry, if your daughter did this in a public setting with a camera in front of you saying that he is clingy and all these kind of things, which could be true, we're not disputing what your daughter is saying, it is very much apparent that your kids could be little tyrants to this man, even though it may be warranted to some degree because of how he acts. But it definitely is there because she asks, are you and Sergio okay? And she goes, we're fine. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, why are you lying? But I guess to her, they're fine. I guess.
I'm not going to tell somebody I don't know that's coming to me with random information that I'm good or bad with my partner either. That's the thing with marriage. Like, not everybody needs to know what you got going on all the time, especially motherfuckers that's new. Hell no. I felt Stansberry, and I hate that I have to say that, but I did.
Right? Oh my god, I feel like that too. Why, y'all? We gonna by the end of this episode, like, I can't believe I have to defend Stansberry. I actually am liking Stansberry this season. Who would have thought? Because I could stand her first season. I'm actually liking her. She actually then came over to my good side, where I actually like somebody on this case. I do like Talene as well, even though Talene did rub me wrong in a minute here. But I actually like Stansberry for the most part. So the girls get back on the table, and Talene goes, well, what did we miss? And Lisa was like, I was about to ask you the same question. What did we miss? Why y'all had to go away from the table? She goes, oh, I just wanted to have a private moment with her. And everyone's like, a private moment? And she goes, don't make this a big deal. And she says, okay. But and Lisa kind of had attitude. And Talene looked at Brooke. She goes, what is going on here? Why she got an attitude? And Lisa was all like, oh, I'm right here. And I'm just saying, like, y'all could just say what it is. Like, you didn't have to go and do that. Like, it's weird. And then at some point she called her the B word. And she goes, okay, don't call me that, first off. And here's Sarah in her confessional, which Sarah gonna get on my nerves with this. You don't call other girls bitches, like when
You're
just
right.
they
You
do
go to
something.
the tabloids and you make light of their childhood
I
trauma.
was yes, thank you. Because I was just about to say, man, this coming from you is rich. This wasn't Bravo in that call center. That was the wrong representative to say you don't call someone a bitch. That would have been better coming from Chanel Ayan or even
The thing though,
Caroline
I
Brooks.
felt like Lisa was right to start saying that because Lisa did want to know and was like aggressive and snappy, asking about, what they was talking about. And to me, I was like, girl, why do you care? Why do you care? This is not your friend. And Stansberry, you don't really mess with too much. And Ayan close to her. So Ayan gonna tell you when Stansberry tells Ayan anyway. So like, why do you care so much? But I didn't understand at all why Talene would think that you could talk to somebody snappy and roll their neck and then not deal
Yes.
with anything.
Okay, so you caught
Yeah,
that
you
too, because
gotta call them a bitch.
everybody on Instagram, on Watch What Happens Live comments when she was on there was talking about she was in the right. And I was all like, did y'all not see when she walked up to that table? She started it. She said, what were y'all talking about? What did I miss?
And
And Lisa
Talene brought
Mesa,
an attitude first, but she did
yes.
it in a passive aggressive way because she's not overly aggressive. But
Hmm.
we watched College Hill now, and Lisa Milan is Jamaican as well, and you're not just gonna be aggressive and get away with it.
Right. And that's what she's saying. Why were you being y'all could say Lisa was wrong because she was to some extent. She was. She shouldn't have carried on the conversation, but Talene did start that. I want y'all to because she walked up and said, what did we miss? And a lot of the times that could be brought up as like, okay, did we miss anything? But at the same time, when you say that when you walk away from a situation, be prepared to have it back because you excused yourself from the table to go have a private conversation. So if you missed anything, that was on you. But don't get mad if I meet you with that same energy. We're like, okay, well, you didn't miss anything. We were wondering the same thing. What was going on over there? Like, why would y'all leave the table? Because, and I didn't agree with Lisa at this point. When she says that you're coming in as Brooke's friend and she has this problem with Stansbury, even though Lisa Brooks started that first. We're not going to act like Brooks didn't start it, but let's say for shits and giggles, that was the situation. I do understand what Lisa was saying, but at the same time, her delivery was just wrong.
It wasn't none of her damn business, in my opinion. Like, I get why she snapped a little bit on the girl once the conversation was happening, but in my opinion, the conversation was not necessary. And if you walk away to have a private conversation, you don't get to come back and then expect to know what was missed.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
So Lisa, I felt like they was both wrong. Lisa needs to
Yes.
mind her own Black-owned business. And Talene, you were trying, I respect you for trying to pull Stansbury aside, but you could have also gotten her phone number. You know, you could have told her after the dinner it didn't need to be there. So I just felt like they both was in some unnecessary crap.
Absolutely. No, I put blame on both of them, but a lot of people were trying to say Lisa started with her for no reason. It's like, no, Lisa didn't start that. She's just said
that's rude at a dinner that you're not throwing to just get up and walk away and take somebody else from the table after you
and then come back and say, well, what did I miss?
Right.
As if y'all went to the bathroom.
They're both wrong.
Yeah, they're both wrong. Like, I don't care what nobody says.
Mind your business. Talene, have better etiquette when you are out to eat or in public.
And then the thing about it is, it was her turning to Brooke saying, what is she talking about? Why is she doing? It's like, she's right there. You can ask her yourself. Because I
was at least rude as hell. That was passive aggressive.
Yes, exactly. So I saw that, y'all. I don't know. Let's put in the comments. Who do you think was really wrong, Lisa or Talene? I really feel like it was Talene that started it. They both were wrong, but Talene started it, though. I think the conversation probably wouldn't have went there had Talene not did that little neck roll and looking at Brooks. Like, she were antagonizing that lady, like, with that, because she questioned you in the same aggressive manner that you
didn't have her back at all. She said, last time, did you have mine? Brooks said, watch this, because she looked at her and Brooks didn't respond at all.
Brooks sat there and was eating that food, chewing all big, and I was like, okay, Brooks, we see you, baby, we see you. But it does feel weird. But once again, I do agree with that. You could have got Stansbury number, called her, and had a private moment outside of this lady's event. You didn't have to do it right then and there. So, and then also you'd have to come up to the table being condescending the way you were. Like, you might not have intentionally did that, but it came off that way. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I still, y'all, at this point cannot figure out how Lisa Milan and Chanel Ayan went south. I don't know how this happened. Like, I still cannot put it together, because as of now, how it's being edited, it's making it seem like they're going to be the trio we always needed. So I don't know how this went left, and I'm very curious to see how this goes. I think it's going to start next episode, and we will see what happens. But for what we know today, we know that Talene and Brooks are not cool, which I will go ahead and explain in my updates video. So make sure once y'all leave here, y'all go there, because we'll go through some tweets that they did today that Mrs. Best sent me. Since I'm doing an updates video, I said, why not? Let's bring it there. So that's it, y'all. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Give me your opinion. I definitely will take it into consideration and respond back to you, and we'll see where we agree or disagree, but that's okay. It's all out of love. We family here on the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. Thank you guys once again. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next recap. Bye-bye.